So just doing another video on my Unraid rig. Not running Unraid anymore, so it's not really an Unraid rig. I ended up selling, I've said it in other videos, but I ended up selling my three 1080 Ti's that I was trying to do, multiple gaming VMs on, and ended up buying a 3080 Ti, which of course is an LHR card. A 3090, I guess you could get up to like 140 mega hashes mining Ethereum. So being LHR, when I first fired it up, I was getting about like 65 mega hashes, and I'm using NiceHash. I know not everybody's happy with it, but I like the ecosystem of NiceHash. What I did find was videos online after a little while about NBMiner and NBMiner's new LHR Unlock being more aggressive and getting up to like 74%. And NiceHash has NBMiner in it, and you can mine Ethereum, and it's a pretty great setup. But NiceHash didn't have the version that you need. I want to say it's like 39.7. So I manually updated it following a video, and then just put in some basic instructions for the algorithm, and I've had really good success. So like, I'll just try and focus that in there, but we're running like, around 90 mega hashes now, and my wattage, like my efficiency isn't too bad. That's reading like 336 right now. So I don't always stay up around 90. One thing I find with this new LHR algorithm, or like running the number one, is although it's aggressive, it hops around a little bit. It only differs by maybe 2 mega hashes, but what I do notice is the efficiency fluctuates quite a bit. I can go from like 370 for an efficiency down to like 330. And the hash rates can be all over the place with it. A good example of like my power percentage that I'm drawing here. So I've got percentage and wattage here. I'm just gonna try and back up until it focuses a little better. But yeah, like you can see that jaggedness up and down. It's not solid. And like, yeah, from like whatever 68 is as high as like 80 there. So, and it does differ. My wattage seems to range around 260. So I can go from like 240s up to like maybe 270 something. But really the efficiency isn't too bad for what I'm running. In order to get that, and everything I saw online, I see like, just use your, so load it up here right now, but you can bring up your graph. I've modified mine a bit, and what I've done is I've locked it at 750 millivolts there. Jeez, this camera lens doesn't want to focus. We're gonna zoom in a bit. There, around 750, and then I basically just increased my core clock to about 1600 and locked it in there, and it seems really happy. I'm not really getting errors or rejections or anything, and I just lock it at that. And for a while I was running like 1700. I thought it was getting me a little better hash rate, but really what makes the biggest difference is the memory overclock. I'm running 1600 right now. For a while I was running 1650. I was running as high as 1750, but I found when I was running it overnight, it would like end up rebooting at some point, and I'm not sure why. As it goes, my temperatures have always been really good. So right now with running like 90 mega hashes, the maximum my core or my memory at like the hottest hot point is 94 degrees. As long as you keep it under like 95, I'm told that's okay. And I'm averaging about 90. So, and then again, it fluctuates, right? So like sometimes drops down to 72 and then hops back up. So I'm not sure what the algorithm does there, but in the past, when I'm not running this LHR algorithm, I've been seeing much more stable numbers. So again, a little bit of fluctuation, 89.57 at, what's my efficiency, 331. And then next one, I got 90 mega hashes with an efficiency of, yeah, I don't know how you get 841. I don't know what happened there, but that can't be right. Oh, zoomed in too much. Back up a little bit. There we go. So we'll let another one run here. I don't know how I got 841. That's the first time I've seen that. There we go. But like again, like 356, I see these numbers pretty regularly. And again, that's at an 89. So whatever the algorithm's doing, the efficiency hops around a little bit. It's not as stable as it was before, but it's working out really well. Depending on what I'm pulling in, I range around like 850 to sometimes as high as like 1050. So the last little bit I've been mining, I've been down a little bit. I've been around like the 9. Right now it's about as low as it gets. But yeah, normally like the actual like Bitcoin is around 11.5 to sometimes 12. Again, I was doing better. I had the memory up higher. I was running like 1900 megahertz, or I mean not 1900, 10900, and it was really stable. It was giving me like the lows were in the 90s, was like 90.5, and then the highs were as high as like sometimes I'd see 92. And with how it works, because you can get a percentage of whatever it is, the more you crank the memory and the faster you get that card going, the more you're going to get out of that, that 74% that it can keep it at. If I were to drop my clock on my memory back down to like stock, I'd only be at like 84, somewhere in there, maybe 85. So, but as long as you keep that memory up, then it's pretty good. And with this EVGA card, at like high speeds, 80% and higher fan, the RPM, it's got a whine to it. And with the 3 fans, there's 2 different fan controllers. So number 1 seems to be like right direct over the die. And I've noticed that I can get it a little bit higher. I run it at like 75% and I don't hear the whine on it. And then on my second one, I keep it at 65, which seems to run the next 2 fans. And they're down the rest of the body, and they seem to be the ones that give me the real high whine. So I run them a little bit lower, and it seems to do really well. To be honest, with what I'm seeing in memory temperatures is like a high of 94. Even though I'm like averaging 90, I might even turn the fan speed up like a little bit. Sometimes the 5% is what makes the difference between whether you hear the whine or not and whether it's annoying. So we're gonna try it here, 65. We'll see. Okay, so I ended up going up to 65 on the doubles, and then on the primary fan there I went with an 80. And like I hear it a little bit. That's not too bad. It's doable. To be honest, most of the noise that you hear is the 6 fans on this rad. They it's amazing when I fire up that Threadripper, the heat it pumps out and how fast those fans pick up. But I do notice that I get a bit of fan noise off them sometimes. Let's see if we can pick up the card fan noise. It's not too bad. Anyways, this is where I seem to be stable. I was hoping to maybe get a little bit more out of, a hash rate there, but it seems like my memory is just not quite stable. But what am I drawing now? I'm getting a 90 mega hash at just about 360, so fairly efficient. Oh, we'll have to check into that. I've got 1 error coming up. I've had a few rejections. So I'll have to look into NiceHash miner and find out why I'm getting rejections and see from there. Again, it's a lot of trial and error. And really anybody that watches the video that has more experience in mining than me, if you have any advice on what I'm running or my clocks or what's up, just let me know. If I can, I'll try and I don't know, I'm gonna look into NiceHash and just see on the algorithm and see if I've had many rejections. Like, again, I don't know, I'll have to look at the errors too, and I want to see if there's like just a timing error where you didn't get it in time, or if it's actually a miscalculation, and how to tell the difference there, because I do have 7 rejections. What I do find though, this is interesting, is under Hardware Info 64, great program, like it's giving me a lot of the details of everything, but under here, Windows hardware errors, I find when my memory starts going up, I start to see errors there, and it's just a sign that I'm getting some sort of error, an incorrectable error, and so far I'm not seeing those there. The other thing I was trying to do too is I was mining with Threadripper, which is super inefficient, and like it gives me 1/10, no, it's like 1/25 or something of what I'd get off my video card. So like technically it's not worth it. But I did activate it and run it for a bit, and I mean it ran fine. Honestly, it's not worth it. But I was playing around. I was trying to run it this morning, but it seemed like I couldn't really connect anything, and then all of the pools were, they weren't active, I guess. So again, I don't know how well whatever the pool is that's operating for CPUs actually gets used, because it's all in GPU mining. but I'm wondering again if maybe one of my settings is off or what, because in the past I have had it, you know, bring in shares and work fairly successfully. Let's actually just activate it now. So we'll fire it up here. So MSR has been set successfully. Yeah, you can hear right away the fan noise pick up. Moves a lot of air through that rad, but it does keep it within spec and allows me to clock as high as about 4.2, and most of the time hold it fairly well. I wonder what I'm at right now. Let's see. Mining always takes a hit. 4.02, so I'm only at 4 gigahertz right now. And for some reason it only activates the primary threads. It doesn't do hyperthreading. I'm not sure why, but I'm just told that the miners can't utilize that. So like I'll get new job and then we'll just see. Maybe it's active and everything's working now and I'll actually start getting shares. But a lot of times it's like, I can't remember exactly what it said. Something about like mining pool's dead and then it tries to reconnect. We'll see how it goes. So that's a little bit lower of a hash rate. I am curious to know if that might actually have to do with the CPU underload, but I know with GPU mining it's very minimal CPU load, so I'm not sure if it does or not. I'll keep an eye on it again, see if I hop back up and see in my hires if they're at 90 or not. Because honestly, in activating this and then having my hash rate drop to below 90, I'm taking a way bigger hit just in the GPU than what I'd ever get back in the CPU. It's not really worth it. See? Read error, connection reset by peer, no active pools, stop mining. So I've been getting this error quite a bit. I haven't actually successfully been adding them in. Anybody that is reading it and have advice, let me know. Look, I just got another error, job not found. So I'm not sure what the job not found messages are. I'm gonna look into them. Anybody that knows more about mining, maybe they can tell me. Maybe although I peer stable and I'm not getting errors or anything, maybe somehow I am not as stable as I think, or something's not right. So I'm going to shrink this back down. Again, here's my clocks and my settings. Everything else is very stable, minus really the power fluctuation, which I don't really recall that as much. Memory temperatures, quick look at them. Nothing's really all that high that you have to worry about. GPU hotspot temperatures and stuff. Again, like max is 94, but I'm averaging around 90. Voltages, loads seem very stable. So I'm not sure why, but again, connection reset by peer. But look, like it doesn't matter. I don't plan to CPU mine anyways, and I'm not hitting 90. So I think it is technically affecting my hash rate on my video card a little bit. And if it affects it at all, because the video card is so powerful, the CPU mining is probably not proving to be profitable. I mean, I'm not sure how the profitability calculator works here, because technically I have gone up, or it was up, and it's falling a bit, but I don't know how. I have yet to actually send anything in, and I'm getting a lot of those connection reset errors. Not nearly as many with the miner, but you know, what do I have, 8 in the last 3 hours and 15 minutes. So it's not all that common. The other thing too is my pool hash rate seems to vary quite a bit. Sometimes it's higher than what my hash rate is reading, sometimes it's lower. So I'm not sure what all affects that either. But I mean, anybody that has more experience in mining, if you do know something's not stable or you have any advice, I mean, by all means, I'm totally open to advice. I want to learn how to mine as efficiently as possible. Thanks for watching.